we were all a little bit excited, right? We would like, cool, just like Spotify Wrapped.
It actually, I mean, to be honest, well, until I started comparing notes with everyone else, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, it was exciting. So then I was like, oh my gosh, where is this? I got to see everything. And it told me, oh, you posted 288 times. You've been on here 344 days. I'm like, that's embarrassing. And then it's like, you're on the top 5%. I'm like, okay, cool. That makes me feel good. And then it's like, this is how many followers you have gotten. This is how many, reactions, comments, reposts you've done, et cetera, et cetera.
Hey, it's Dave Gerhardt. I spent my career in marketing going from PR intern to CMO, and now I spend my time running Exit 5, which is, in my opinion, at least the world's best community for B2B marketers. If you need a place to connect with your peers, get feedback on your work, or just make new friends in marketing, you should go and check us out. It's exit5.com. You can learn more.
All right, marketers, grab your overpriced standing desk and that oat milk latte you love so much, because welcome to Notorious B2B, the only show where we treat LinkedIn drama like breaking news and expose the real B2B marketing sins.
Yeah, think of us like SNL meets TMZ, but for the people who argue about whether gated content is still a thing or not. I'm Task Bober, B2B landing page nerd and lovable troll on LinkedIn.
And I'm Tim Davidson, the guy making TikTok-style videos and cutting fruit on LinkedIn. Together, we're cutting out nonsense and roasting the most ridiculous trends in B2B marketing.
Because if we have to suffer through another 10 things getting engaged taught me about B2B sales, we're taking you all down with us.
Let's get into it.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Vector. You know them, the ones with the cute little ghosties in the feed, aka your favorite marketing team's favorite ad targeting tool. See why at vector.co. We are here, and while we are recording on December 18th, you are listening on January 7th or something. So happy New Year.
Yeah, I'm glad. At the end of the episode, I'm definitely going to say, see you next year.
See you next year.
Oh, wait, no, it's going to be in January. Shoot, we can't do that. I should have the last episode.
I already did it with somebody yesterday at my kids' gymnastics, and I just felt so disgusting after that. I was like,
Why?
I got to take a shower. It's just so cringy. Like everyone says it every. It is classic. But it's like, Rolly Tass, why'd you do that? Go take a shower.
That's actually why. That's like the sole reason I miss having working in an office. Because on that last day before everyone goes to the holidays, be like, see you next year. You just chuckle a little bit. Yeah, it's not bad.
You would. Okay, we have a docket.
Yeah,
and we have a pretty good one, and we got to get through it all. So let's get through it all. We actually have urgent all hands this week, which is weird because by the time this comes out, is it really that urgent? I don't know, but people might have missed it. So
people will miss it. Everyone's off. Their heads are out right now.
So let's do it.
Classic B2B.
Okay, first one is Goldcast got acquired by
good old Cvent.
Good old Cvent. Okay, so first one here is Kelly Cheng, CMO at Goldcast. You and I think both have worked with her at some point on various things. No? Okay, no. I did kind of a brand partnership thing with them earlier this year. Great team to work with. Loved working with her. She's awesome. And it's a team that's always kind of doing things. They are also sponsors of like Devin Reed's podcast. Anyway, she says, I'm proud of everything we achieved at Goldcast, excited to continue building a platform, yada, yada. So it sounds like she's staying there. But essentially, they are joining Cvent. It's always a curious thing when a company gets acquired by another company because, dun, 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 what are the changes that are gonna come?
It's 99% never good for the people getting acquired.
Yes, exactly. Now
the employees.
The employees. I feel like you are kind of more in tune with the event space. I don't know why I would think that, but I feel like you would have opinions more on this than I would.
I wouldn't say I have big opinions on it. It's just interesting the wave that the event, especially the digital event space has been in the last 6 years, obviously with the time period that no one wants to speak of, plus the emergence of all those, like Hopin went crazy, that like there was so much, a flush of cash into that space, and now they're all getting bought up. Like Cvent also bought Splash, which was another one in 2024. So then they just bought obviously Goldcast and They caught a bunch of, but they bought a bunch of other companies over the years too. But like all these companies are getting bought up. Like Hopin was acquired. It went from like 10 that you could think of to like 3.
2, 3. I mean, it's kind of that Sendoso story. Remember
Yes. Yeah.
Sendoso when they did their acquisitions as well? And so it's like, it's one of those things where what's the best form of flattery in SaaS? Acquisition.
Sometimes I've heard some freaking horror. Like
Oh, yes.
when you're young in the old SaaS space, you're like, oh, I see this person getting money for, you know, an acquisition. But like after everything happens, like a lot of people just don't get much at all. Which is really sad.
Yeah, I can see that.
Everything's
Okay, but
watered down.
they're not the only ones. We also caught wind of a different acquisition yesterday, notably a larger one.
Yeah, good old Salesforce coming through and acquiring Qualified. This just happened yesterday, so December 17th. Well, they signed it. It's not like completely through yet, but they've signed intent to acquire Qualified. Qualified's a chatbot, think of like a Drift. Again, this space. Drift was acquired earlier in the year and actually like disengaged, like that thing's done, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, Drift's gone. Like they're getting rid of Drift. Salesloft is now Qualified's getting acquired. Question is, what's going to happen with that?
Yeah, super interesting. So my little anecdote is I was a Drift customer many years, many companies, love Drift. Unrelated to Dave, but also was like, well, the marketing worked, he was there, whatever. So all of that together, I was always
First
a big
movers.
fan of DMDT. Yeah. Love Drift, had a good relationship with them. Everything was great. Qualified had been fighting for my business then for many years after that. And I always told the guy, I was like, I admire your resilience to keep coming back, knowing that I'm full, not just like a long-term customer of Drift, but a raging fan of Drift. But the one thing that always stuck out that Qualified did do for me is when I had my son, they sent me a package that was all swag, but it was all baby swag. And one of the things that they sent me was a little panda wearing a Qualified shirt. And my daughter was 3 at the time, and she brought the panda to the hospital to meet my son for the first time. And it's funny because she just grabbed a stuffy on the way out and she brought it to the hospital and she gave it to my son and she said, you know, this is for me. And so that's like just kind of been there. And it's weird how Qualified randomly is part of this very sweet memory for me. So, you know, so anyway, so that's how I remember them. That's the association. I'm like,
But you know,
that was
you never bought.
never bought. But
No, nothing.
to be fair,
Doesn't matter.
they almost got my business because we were renewing with Drift and we were negotiating and Drift came in hard to make sure that we would renew with them. So they were like, whatever they're offering you, we'll give you like, so they put us on the highest plan for like not a lot of money. So
All right, fair enough.
yeah.
Well, nice. So now, like, think about it. There was like the top 3 for a while, and there's been others that have come into the space. Where like obviously Drift was like the first mover there. Intercom, which is more of like in my opinion, more like the kind of like enterprise, but like boring. I could be completely wrong there. I'm sorry if that's true. And then Qualified came in, and then others have come up like Chili Piper's chat, and then I think HubSpot has a chat or something like that. But now Drift's gone. Qualified gets bought. Question is what's going to happen there? Don't know. It seems like there's only like, you know, Chili Piper chat, Intercom, and some other stragglers, and that's about it now. Now, what's interesting is as I'm looking at the article here, Salesforce been on a tear of buying things. And they just bought another company they bought 2 companies in August. One called Wahi, don't even know what that is. Another one called Regrello. In October, they bought another company called Aprimor. And then last month, in November, they bought a company called Spindle AI. And now Qualified.
Wow.
They got that money.
They got that money, but also this is such a like positioning conversation because when you are as big as Salesforce and you have so many things that you are offering, you also compete in so many markets that it's like, I bet you if you looked up all these tools, they all do different things. And so they're just going around buying all, you know, as much as they can, but it's going to be one of those things where it's like, it's a never ending cycle. You're always going to be trying to buy stuff because your TAM has gotten so freaking big that you're like trying to keep up with the competition there. I mean, obviously they have a lot of brand equity. It's Salesforce, but you can have brand equity and still have people hate you, which is like
Yeah.
essentially, with Salesforce's thing. It's like we love to hate it. We like can't, a lot of companies can't live without it. So yeah, it's interesting what they're going to do with the chat scenario. I'm sad that Drift is gone, although
They've been gone. You know what I mean?
I know,
Like
I
they've
know.
been dead.
I know.
Sorry. But it's just like when Dave left, everything was gone.
R.I.P. I loved Drift. I love you, Drift. I still love you. I mourn
It's
at your
not even a thing.
gravesite.
So it's like loving MySpace. I don't know what you're talking about here.
I did love MySpace too, though. Just
enough.
FYI. Just FYI. All right, let's move on. Those were kind of the two big news of the week. There's a couple more, but we put it in a different category just because, it's more feely. Okay, now we are moving into our Just Flagging segment.
Just flagging.
Okay, so LinkedIn yesterday launched their year in review.
December
So-
17th for everyone because you got to remember everyone's reading this in 2026.
Yeah.
Or listening.
December 17th, they released the year in review. If you don't know what that is, because apparently only a few people actually got it. There were some people who were like, I don't even see this on here. They released this and it's like Spotify Wrapped, which is supposed to be an analysis of your content, followers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So before I even go into the data, I want to talk about, in true LinkedIn fashion, the user experience around this thing. So if you have the mobile app, you open it up, there was a button, you clicked on it, you got your review, right? Which was very much like Spotify Wrapped. It had this like kind of story format. But if you were a desktop person, there was like a QR code and people were like hitting this QR code, but then it opened it in this browser, but then you had another one to then open it in the app. So some people weren't even bothering going through with it because they felt like they were in an endless loop of QR codes. So I'm like, yeah, leave it to LinkedIn to make it difficult for like a desktop, person. So that was some of the complaints there. Now, we were all a little bit excited, right? We would like, cool, just like Spotify Wrapped, sharing stuff. You were the first one to share it in our group chat with Kaylee.
I got it early. Some people didn't see that, but I'm mobile all day, every day. Like I hardly even go to LinkedIn desktop unless it's like the ads platform. So I got like a notification. It wasn't even just like an email or anything. I got a notification and I clicked on it and I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I went through it and then it started showing up on like the top of my feed when I log into mobile, and then I got the email and all that too. It actually, to be honest, until I started comparing notes with everyone else, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, it was exciting. So then I was like, oh my gosh, where is this? I got to see everything. And it told me, oh, you posted 288 times. You've been on here 344 days. I'm like, that's embarrassing. And then it's like, you're in the top 5%. I'm like, okay, cool. That makes me feel good. And then it's like, this is how many followers you have gotten. This is how many, reactions, comments, reposts you've done, et cetera, et cetera. And it gives you a personality like Spotify, I think, also does. And so I was a catalyst. I'm like, okay, catalyst for what? But whatever. Maybe that's their word for influencer. Whatever. Who cares? Anyway, fast forward. In our group chat, we start sharing these results with each other. And the first thing was Kaylee sending in her stuff here, which is, and I literally this is the first time I've ever put multiple images up in a post in like just the image, like select 3 and add it instead of like a carousel. And so Kaylee shares and she goes, you put in the work 344 days. I'm like, Tim goes, wait, mine was also 344. And I was like, I think mine was more. I was very confident about mine being more, right? And I sent my screenshot with like 5 exclamation points. Tim goes, that's really sus. And I said, wait, was your most active time 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. too? Kaylee says yes. And I'm like, wait, okay, this is super sus. So I just randomly posted about this right after we had this conversation on LinkedIn, just from my phone, took 3 screenshots, shared it. I was like, everyone's excited about this, but I think we all have the same numbers. So I said, okay, we compared notes. We found same number of days on LinkedIn, which is fair, whatever. But same active times, which is weird because I post at 8 a.m. and then you came in with your GTM, whatever time zone that they're in, or GMT, GTM. You tell I'm a B2B marketer. And then everyone's a catalyst. And then randomly, I log off. I'm just like hanging out. Come back, post freaking blows up. Or like 500 reactions, but the comments are now up to 700 almost, with a lot of people saying, like, well, you with your conspiracy theory, which I'll have you walk through, but so many people saying, oh my God, I got the same exact thing. Now, this has become a post that multiple people have been posting about. Basically, that the year in review is just like rigged. It's not really based on data, etc. But tell the people why, what your conspiracy theory is around the 344 days.
Well, what's funny is I think everyone that has commented on yours said theirs was also 344 days.
Yes.
In my conspiracy, I guess, is that they did this on the 17th. So there's still 14 days left in the day, the month, right? So of the year. So 344 plus that leaves you with 7 days left. And so if you count the US holidays, which are 11, but 4 have not passed yet, that gives you that exact 365. And so my conspiracy is that basically anyone that's on it every single day, they just put 344 because you can't say 365 because it hasn't been a year yet. And
Yeah.
obviously they counted for holidays because they're just assuming you take a break.
Yeah, they're assuming you're not on there
Which
on
is
holidays,
false
which
for
is
me.
so false. So
I'm
false.
grinding on there on Thanksgiving. Grinding.
Thanksgiving, we were in the bathroom posting on LinkedIn, trying to get away from the family for 10 minutes at a time. I can guarantee you, I was there on my birthday, federal holidays, all of it. All of it. I'm there.
I don't think it is far-fetched to say that I was on it every single day, even if it was just by like just because
Accident.
it's just not even accident, but like I pull up my phone and like you have like those apps that you just automatically check.
Yeah, muscle memory.
Yeah, mine's LinkedIn, like
Yeah.
and some other things. So it's like, but every single person I saw in that comment was saying it's 344, even the people that probably do not go on every single day, which is very annoying because it's so annoying. It's so annoying.
There were a few people who had different numbers, but the interesting thing is LinkedIn was also saying that some people who they were like, your most used feature was this, but they weren't on premium, and it was like a premium feature. So if you sift through some of these comments, they're like, and they had me saying, oh, you kept in touch with this person all year round. And it's like, I swear to God, I talked to this person twice. So it's like, there was just things like that were kind of weird. Like, what are they gauging based on that? And then I had another friend text me, and she said her boyfriend, who is never there on LinkedIn, had
I must
him
check my wife's.
and a
'Cause
check.
she literally does not even know her password. So that'd be hilarious if hers
Yes.
like that.
So she sent me the message, said, okay, he got 299 days, which still feels suspiciously too many. And his personality thing was powerhouse, which makes 0 sense. And I'm like, oh, at least it was something different.
That's the first thing I've seen that was different than Catalyst.
Really? No, there's another one
didn't-
that's like an amplifier.
Oh, I didn't even see those. Like I only saw Catalyst from everyone that I saw talk about it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so
Yeah.
they did change it up a little bit.
And then some people had like 323 days or 343.
okay.
It was like 1 day less than other people, but the majority in the comments were 344. I did have some haters in the comments because that we have once you pass that like 200, 300 threshold, the other houses of LinkedIn come to play. And so some of them were like, are you seriously making a big deal out of this? It says 344 days because the year isn't over yet. I'm like, okay, but did you do the math? That's all I'm asking. It's like 344 with the remaining days of the year. Please refer Tim Davidson's comment does not equal 365. So like, please. So it was just something like that. But then Joshua, Vector CEO, he commented and he goes, listen, what if it's basically like we are in this little catalyst universe on LinkedIn where everyone's a catalyst because that's the circles we run in. And there's another side of LinkedIn right now who's got a post out that's saying, hey, are you guys in this other loser category? That's what we're in. And I laughed so hard when I read that because I was like, maybe that's it. Maybe most of the people I know are people who are posting and in the top 5% and who are on here every day. But some of these people I don't recognize, so I don't know.
I mean, the people that would comment and post about it would be in the 344 times of the year. If you
Yeah.
think about it, and
Yeah.
might be a catalyst and might be on it 10 to 7, which is a very long period.
It's
It's
all
a lot.
day.
It's a lot. I mean, I was not surprised by that because that's not wrong. It's
Yeah,
not
I
wrong.
mean, I always forget the LinkedIn time zone thing, which I only learned about last week from you. So I have to, that is something I need to get used to, is that they do the, GMT time zone instead of whatever. Because I will go, if I'm on my computer, I guess I am checking. I mean, LinkedIn's just open on my computer almost all
There's
day,
that too.
you
I
know?
thought about that. Like, if I open my laptop, LinkedIn's on there. So
Yeah.
does that count as a day?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just stuff like that where I'm like, but I'm not necessarily on my phone the whole time. I do believe a lot of, the comments, the reactions and stuff, that definitely looks like me. So I feel like some things they might have automated and some things they like,
Some are personal. Like
some are
the
personal.
first connection, those were
Yeah.
always like mine was like my old restaurant manager in 2015. Like that was mine. So that was obviously, and I recognize the name. Like that was obviously very personal to me because that was my first connection. And there was like a number of followers. That's obviously that's personal. There was like the posts and comments or the comments and stuff, and the post thing too is obviously personal too.
One person did say that LinkedIn reported 20 more followers than they have. So
No, it's that year.
yeah, 20 more followers than they have in total.
Well, some people probably unfollowed. You gotta think about that because it
Oh.
probably counts people that followed then unfollowed. So that might be shady. Not shady, but like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
that
yeah.
works. But it could be like that. Like that could be people that connected and then they unfollowed.
Oh, you know what? I do know some people like that. I'm not going to call them out, but I do
I do
know,
that.
actually
I
know.
do it to everyone.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. You gotta earn my follow.
Oh my God, you would. Okay,
My
moving
my
on.
no
No.
no
Okay.
not yet. My my qualm with it is it could have been awesome
Yes, I know.
because what if you did like obviously for the catalyst like us like if you did like it did to the follower thing which was cool, but if you did like a year over year following, like what was my
Mm,
followers the year before that? How many posts did I do last year? Like if you did some of that stuff, that would be very interesting. Or if you did, because they have like the new things like sent in DMs, like those kind of posts.
yes.
Like if you added that stuff, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
No.
How many times
No.
was your post saved
Yeah.
this
What was
year?
your best performing post?
Your best performing post. What about, they do know they have this data. Which post type is your favorite? Do you tend to do images
Yeah.
more, text more?
Who did you DM the most? Which would
Who
call
did
out a
you
lot
do
of
the most?
salespeople that are following up for sure. But
Yeah.
it could have. That's the thing. It could have been epic. And come on, you can't vibe code something better than this.
I know.
Like
That's what I'm
everyone's a
saying.
catalyst. Like that's
Well, some people were even expecting advanced, which was like like your content types and your pillars and things. You know how like Spotify does genres?
yeah.
Like doing your genre, like things like that. I was like, please,
That'd
they're
be
struggling
weird.
they're struggling with the basic shit right now. Like,
Yeah.
that's 201. Let's try to get 101 right.
Hey there, Jess Cook, head of marketing at Vector here. And anyone who listens to Tass and Tim on Notorious B2B is a friend of mine. So I'm going to hold your hand while I say this. Native targeting is filling your funnel with ghosts. Wouldn't you rather put your ad dollars toward, I don't know, people on your website, clicking your ads, researching your competitors? I know I would. Vector lets you build ad audiences from those exact people. Unlike native targeting, which gatekeeps that shit, only letting you pick like some titles and industries and then just trusting them to show your ads to the right people. Boo. Okay, rant over, go to vector.co and get your ad audiences right.
Hey, you outside shoveling snow right now? Yeah, you don't have to be. I'm Sahil, CEO of Spiralize. We capture winning A/B tests from 78,000 websites so we know what makes a high converting site. This February, I'm joining Anthony Pieri, Jess Cook, Rob Kaminsky, Taz Bober, and Alina Vandenberg for Above the Fold, a 2-day workshop style event in Fort Lauderdale for B2B marketers who want to actually improve their websites. No theory, no fluff, just tactical help on positioning, content, and landing pages. Skip the cold, build something hot. Join us in Florida. Get the details at spiralize.com/above the fold.
Here's another conspiracy. Not really a conspiracy, but they might have saw your post. So when I first got it, I got the notification within LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I actually recorded it so I could see everything. So I got all the slides. I got here's 2025 in review. Here's your first connection, the 344 days, all that stuff. But then you know how it showed up on your on mobile, it showed up on your feed. It was like 2025 in review, click on it. When I clicked on that, it took out the 344 days slide. It took out the catalyst slide, and it took out another slide. I can't remember what the other one was.
The time?
I don't remember because I X'd it out. But I promise you, the 344 days thing was gone in that slide, and the catalyst thing was gone. Those are just gone. Try it on yours. See if it changed.
I don't even have the banner anymore.
I X'd out. That's the problem. I X'd out of it, so I can't. I didn't record it either. I'm really bummed. I didn't even think about it until we were talking.
All right. ZoomInfo. What is going on with them?
Actually, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them.
Oh, okay.
They're coming at Apollo.
Oh.
Now, I wanted to bring this up because, for a while there was the ZoomInfo Apollo beef, especially when that social crew was there at Apollo. They're just going after the big dog. Fair enough. But what happened kind of recently, the newest thing is on December 15th is there was this new filing so basically ZoomInfo was suing Apollo for patent infringement. There's 2 patents that they were kind of technically infringing on. Obviously, Apollo appealed, and just of recent, December 15th, the judge said, no, you can move on with the patent infringement. It still has to go to court and all that stuff. Stuff, but it's allowing them to do it. So ZoomInfo is essentially suing Apollo for patent infringement. There's two patents here.
Okay.
Which this is where I don't understand, because it's like, these are patents. But basically, the patent one is like a data, like how they get their business info, like the data scraping. It's like very specific to how ZoomInfo does it, and Apollo allegedly copied it. The second one is scoring and ranking leads. So like you get kind of like how they're doing their own scoring. So obviously, ZoomInfo has their own kind of way of doing it, and they're accusing Apollo of actually stealing that
methodology.
Yeah. So like it just seems like, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting because had all that beef. Then ZoomInfo just decided, all right, we're going to sue you on some patent infringement that I don't even know how those can be patent infringement. It's just kind of like, unless someone had like real details of it, which could be like a little person, like a little, rippling deal thing going on here.
Or, I mean, one thing that SaaS does often is they have, way incestuous. So like people love to hire employees back and forth. So if you have one engineer that used to work at Apollo or ZoomInfo and then goes and works at the other one, they're obviously going to take some IP with them. Like, everyone's done it to some degree. The interesting part about the story is that data scraping and scoring and ranking leads, that's like a whole category of companies that do that, right? So that's one part, which is like, oh, we didn't realize that you could patent this product category.
Process, essentially.
Yeah, the whole process. And then it almost feels weird. Like, it's like me saying, I've patented landing pages, so like no one else can do. Like, it just feels like weird that way. It just feels like a weird thing to patent, or that you can do it. It'd be different if it's like, we make lead a certain way. So I don't know. Yeah. But the other part is the beef between them, which generally in this space, there's a lot of beef between these companies that do this work, right? And the interesting part about this is that they had the beef, and it felt like ZoomInfo's like, all right, as part of the beef, we're going to literally take you to court, or we're done with the playing games, competitor stuff back and forth. Now we're going to sue you.
They're burying them in paperwork.
Yeah.
I am a self-proclaimed legal expert because I watched Suits twice. And what happens, I've watched SVU too, so I understand that too. What happens, like, I don't even think they have anything on the patent. I don't think they're going to get anything there. They're burying them in paperwork and lawyer fees because ZoomInfo got that money. They're big.
You don't think, but Apollo doesn't?
Apollo's got money.
Yeah.
Apollo's got money, but not ZoomInfo money.
Not ZoomInfo money.
ZoomInfo's big. They got like 1,000 employees plus. Okay. They're just going to bury them in legal fees. They're going to bury them in paperwork, slow them down, and it's just going to be a nightmare for them. That's what they're doing.
This is what Notorious B2B calls legal-led GTM motion. You know what I'm saying? It's like when when Sixth Sense also loves to do the legal ed. And so
Yeah,
this
it's a
is just
story
kind of
too.
following the same situation where it's like, okay, I feel like Apollo had a tough year as well with the like getting kicked off of LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Although Liam Maroney was like their brand equity and stuff has not really fallen. It's not a direct correlation, but it's almost like, all right, now we're just gonna go one step further and rub some salt on the wound, salt guy.
And if you think about it, if someone's on a sales call and a ZoomInfo person's like, or the buyer's like, I'm looking at Apollo too, ZoomInfo could be like, technically we're suing them right now because
They're taking our
they're
process.
taking our process. So we got the better process. Like buyers.
Yeah, we were the OG. Wouldn't you want to go with the people who came up with it originally, or do you
the
want
judge? The
Yeah.
judge said we could. The judge
Yeah.
said we could. They could do that now.
Oh, but
Judge Judy don't mess around. Tell you that much.
legal led GTM, baby.
It's not bad. We should sue some podcasts, other podcasts.
There's not a. If anyone's getting sued, it's us. I'm going to tell you right now. It's the other way around.
Don't say that.
Am I jinxing it? Doing
bit.
too much. Okay, speaking of ZoomInfo.
Let's noodle.
Let's noodle.
All right. Speaking of ZoomInfo, Luke Marshall.
Lukey.
Lukey, CEO of Bear Metrics. He's around LinkedIn. I've seen him.
Bear Metrics.
Bear Metrics.
Bare necessities.
Yeah, no, not that bear. BARE, Bear Metrics. So he says, apparently I'm locked into an auto renewal with ZoomInfo course after a 3-year contract and a missed 60-day non-renewal notice period. The renewal date still isn't until the end of January 26th. When I looked to see what correspondence I had received, I had no comms from my AM, and our original AM has actually left the company. I get it, a contract's a contract, but a 3-year agreement struck before my time and a 60-day non-renewal window without any comms seems a bit predatory. Anyone else have an experience with this?
I cannot explain how annoying that would be. Because it's not even like your date is up. It's your 60-day window. Like your renewal's not even there yet. Do you know how annoying that would be?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I would lose
Now, this is not looking good because then we have a bunch of comments saying, yeah, we dropped them. We didn't hear from our AM for 7 months. Turned in our notice. Couple months later, they reached out to see about renewing. So obviously there's a lot of like misfiring comms that are happening in there. And then there's other people who said, but you're also saying that you took over and didn't have anyone do a contract review and put expiration or cancellation dates on the calendar. Are they wrong? Technically not, though practically speaking, it's bad business, but you are responsible for your company's cost. Yes. So that actually got more reactions than the previous one. And then someone else says here, this is 100% ZoomInfo's playbook. That's why I tell everyone to avoid them, because this type of anti-goodwill is basically a vote against their value or product quality. I've heard dozens of these stories. He got 76 reactions on that. Obviously, people are going ham, right? They're talking about the CEO, about cancellation policies. But I'm just going to say this, which is, this is, as a person who has purchased ZoomInfo before in-house, it is a tricky legal situation to navigate. A lot of the issues that I'd had were things like, okay, if you want to disconnect from ZoomInfo, the credits, you need to use all your credits by the end of the year. So we would frantically try to use the credits to enrich our entire Marketo database by the end of the year. But then we'd obviously hit a limit. It's like, oh, you don't want to do the next 25 and try to squeeze a little more money. They're very strict about contracts, but then, yeah, my reps changed all the time. They're very hard to get out of with contracts and stuff. So this is like a theme that I feel like we're seeing here as we come into renewal season, and from my own experience as well. However, I did like one of their products a lot, which is the form shortening product. I did like that a lot. I've implemented it at a couple of companies. So obviously I went to a second company, pitched it, got the justification, paid the 36, 40 grand or whatever for that functionality. I bet there's some competitors now, but sometimes you like deal with the bullshit because, the person's hot or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? That's the analogy that we're going to go with.
I actually like ZoomInfo. I know that's a very terrible position these days, but I actually like the product when I used it. I've used a lot of data providers. It was just, I thought it was easy to use. It was the things I wanted to do with it just made it so much easier. It's been a couple of years or so. But even just reading through the comments, a number of people have been through that. Some people are saying 1 year, the 3-year things was getting me. Like, that's crazy. But I don't think it's 100% not just a ZoomInfo thing. Like, I'm just reading through it. I see NetSuite does the same thing. Outreach. I mean, there's a number of companies that people are commenting that also do this. It's just that everyone bashes ZoomInfo online. So everyone calls out ZoomInfo.
And I think it's a volume thing too. So
Yeah, true.
if you have enough of these stories, then that becomes a reputation of the company. The other thing is there's tons of Reddit threads too on some of their renewal practices. And so that's the part where it's like that becomes the narrative. Even though other SaaS companies do it, the onesie, twosie things are fine. But when you keep hearing the same name associated with the same problem, then it kind of becomes part of, who you are. This one's actually really interesting. This person shared a screenshot with an email from 2 years ago where a rep got back to him and he said, hey, Camille, my name is Jake, not Jack. Smiley face. As shown from your contract attached below, the screenshot below, your non-renewal notice deadline was 60 days before the renewal date. Your renewal was on 12/22. If you reached out in December, that is not 60 days before that date. If you do not have written confirmation that you wanted to opt out 60 days before, please forward it this way. If not, we unfortunately have to abide by the rules governing your contract. Furthermore, you got almost a 50% discount on a good package. I'm happy to help you get value from it as your current account manager. Womp womp.
I'd be so annoyed, but I mean, what can you do?
Maybe you should try that for your business.
No, couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with the emails. Couldn't deal with that. I'm too nice. Even if it wasn't a contract, I'd be like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm out. Like,
the other side of me is like, would you really want do you really want people to be your customers who feel like they have a gun held to their head in order to be with you? Like,
well, let's not go drastic here. It's just a contract. It's
no,
not
but I mean, like, I have this conversation with my paid partner who says, yeah, I have a contract, but if you want to get out, you can get out. I'm not going to force you to be my client because obviously you're unhappy, which then makes it a stressful situation for everyone because every call is tense. You resent me and the product, like that kind of thing. Why would you even want that? That's not good business,
I hear you, but so you're right with the services. Like when you're actually like talking to a customer constantly, products like this, you're not talking to them constantly.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with that. You're not going to have to deal with the attitude or anything like that. Like you just don't because you're not talking to them until like the renewal comes up technically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and if that's the case, can we do that for student loans? Like, can I get out of my student loans real quick? Like,
do I never have to go to the DMV again?
Right. Like, can I do this for other stuff? Like, where does it, I would like, if we do that, like, I'm in to do that for some other stuff. Can I get out of some other stuff? That'd be great. I'd love that.
Fair.
A 10-year mortgage or 30-year mortgage. Can we do that? Like, can I just get that paid off real quick for free?
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
Devil's advocate.
Okay. All right. Move on. Number 2. We spent way too much time on ZoomInfo.
A little bit.
Number 2.
Okay. This one I like. This one I just thought was interesting. So we all know what influencer marketing is, right? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I have an inkling.
Yeah, you do. Okay. So influencer marketing, you basically pay people to post about something.
Yeah.
Essentially, right? Create a video, post it on LinkedIn, post it on YouTube, whatever it is. What was funny here is someone in the ether of the world of LinkedIn, in the security space, nonetheless, Brian Krebs, he basically takes a screenshot of someone from a company that's like the OpenAI's first cyber investment. And it basically says, the headline says $1,000 for a post. And the screenshot is basically asking Brian if he would be open for $1,000 to post about their announcement. Money for a post, literally influencer marketing, right?
Yeah.
He's just asking too. It's not like you have to do it. It's not he's not adding you to a 3-year contract. Brian basically calls this company out with the screenshot. It says, call me old fashioned, but this kind of sleazebaggery. Wow.
Great word.
Great word. Fair warning. I'm apt to call out any company that sends me something like this. He just goes off. And then where it gets better is not better, but so Brian Long, who's the CEO of Adaptive Security, who's basically the person, the company that sent them to him, he responds. Tons of engagement, which is awesome. He says, congrats, you passed the phishing test. But seriously, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Adaptive Security. My 2 cents, content creators should be financially supported for their work, especially in cybersecurity. We offered to compensate you for a paid post, which would be acknowledged as sponsored. So basically, it's not sleazebaggery. It's literally
we get
influencer
emails
marketing.
like that
Yeah.
a few times a week. Like it's just a normal email like, hey, we have this thing. It's in your area of expertise. If you post about it, we're happy to compensate you for the post. That's it.
I'm reading through these comments and people are like still on sleazebag boy Brian's side. My problem with this is that it got like 1,900 engagements and 286. Like it probably had a huge amount of impressions, and they're calling this company out saying it's sleazebag. It's literally influencer marketing.
Right.
I think it's just because they're in security, to be honest. Like that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about what this would look like to someone who's not accustomed to this space. So they think it's like you're trying to buy my favor. The part that you made in your comment is actually the most important, which is you saying, hey, you can choose to say no. It's just a pitch,
Like, yeah.
it's literally just a pitch, but maybe not accustomed to getting pitches like that, thinking that it's either fake or companies trying to buy testimonials, that it's not the same thing. I've turned on plenty of companies where I'm like, I don't do single one-off posts. I don't know what you do. The product's good, but it's not like that great. I have conflict of interest because I'm a partner with someone else. Or like, I don't use this. This is just not good for my audience. Like you can set rules for these things, but he didn't know that. However, got a ton of reactions and people thinking that it's crappy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the world does not lie in that sense. Like, I don't know. It's just annoying to me.
Yeah.
I just don't like the guy anymore. I just don't like him. I'm done with him. Like, I'll never work with him ever.
Will you post about their product update then? You feel bad for the company? I mean, they're still getting a lot of exposure.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that was the play. Maybe that's the post.
I thought that's where you were going with this is, hey, they pitched you to post and they're going to pay you for it, but now you've posted this and gotten 2,000 reactions and you've kind of done it anyway.
You could have got paid.
You could have gotten paid.
The funniest thing would have been if it said brand partnership at the top.
Yes. That's what I was looking for initially. I'm like, oh. So I thought the story was going to be, you said this guy was paid to do an influencer post and decided to dog on the company instead. Did he get paid or not? Which would have been a fantastic story. But this is also kind of a funny story. Okay. All right, moving on. This week, we're actually featuring Jess Cook, who is head of marketing at Vector, also sponsors this podcast. But I told Tim I would have covered this even if they weren't sponsoring the podcast because, I don't know, Justice has her content brain. I wish I had that in real life. Like, I keep going back to swag, but I feel like who comes up with swag like that? It's just, it can only be from her brain. So she posted, and I somehow totally missed it, but 3 weeks ago, she posted about how she wanted to do kind of B2C style ads for Vector. And her post goes like this. It actually did really well. Got like 468 reactions, 71 comments, 9 reposts. And she said, marketers can spot lazy creative from a mile away. We roll our eyes at generic messaging. We definitely know when someone's trying too hard, but we also know when something's genuinely different, when a brand is doing something never seen before, yada, yada. So I wanted that bar for Vector, for someone to say, okay, that's actually clever. And so with that, I give you warm water, warmer leads. And I actually watched this and I was like, this is really cool. And so we're going to play it here. But I like it too because it's a little bit edgy. It's very task style. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm just testing some new placement.
In my bath?
You'd be amazed how many people with your same buyer persona spend in the bathtub.
This is the best way to guarantee your exact buyers end up in your ad audience.
This really isn't the best time.
That's what they all say. But this is a high engagement environment. Warm water, warm leads.
The next best way is Vector.
What is going on here? No. This isn't what it looks like.
I was just trying to get him turned on to our platform.
Vector builds ad audiences from people who visit your site, click your ads, and research your competitors. No wasted spend, no guesswork, and no surprising them in the bathtub.
So,
It was so good, especially the wife coming in, or partner looking at, and she's looking at she what? And she looks down at his it was chef's kiss. That was so good.
That was good, Ed. Yeah, that was really good. That was really good.
She hasn't, not that I can see anyway. I don't know if you can, but I'm sure that they did put paid dollars behind this eventually, but like organically, it already
really
was doing well. And that's the kind of stuff where it's like you combine both of them and you are expecting this ad to be something like, just the vibes is very, like
very B2C.
very B2C, detergent, that kind of stuff, like something funny, little edgy. You don't see that in B2B. And so I love that they went with that vibe for Vector. So it's kind of a closed one, but also like, hey, maybe this is more of what we'll see this year, going in with funny ads. Actually, Connor Lewis does a lot of B2B ads now, and I've seen some of the formatting is taking a little more of that fun approach, B2C type approach too. I want to see more of this kind of stuff next year.
Yeah, that was good.
Add it to the forecast. Add it to the goals, guys.
There you
OKRs right now. But they love that. Okay, what is next?
All right. So next up here, we got people still having multiple roles, but making it work. So this is one. So James, Handsome Manaliosis.
Handsome Maniolis? Handsome Manolis?
Handsome Manolis. Yeah,
that sounds like a
man.
great illness for a man to have. Handsome Manolis.
James posts a screenshot of one of his friends, but basically it's a friend of his who's working multiple SDR jobs. And he asked him why he hasn't gone out on to be solo, like us, the cool kids over here. And he basically, the screenshot is saying, why not start an agency? And the person responds with LMAO, laughing my ass off, because I work 4 to 5 hours a day to make $12K net and have no worries about training clients. And if I get fired, I get a 1 month advance warning and severance. Building a 10K month business is way harder than having 2 remote jobs. So this person basically has 2 SDR jobs that he's just working every day. And because SDRs, obviously they have a little bit of, base pay, but they get paid on commission. I know a lot of people will frown upon this. They'll be like, oh, that sucks. But think about sales. If you can get as many meetings as you need in 4 to 5 hours than other people and do 2 jobs, why not? Why does that matter?
Yeah, I guess you get benefits and stuff too.
Yeah. And like you said, there's no risk. There's risk, but if you get fired from one, you still have the other. There's nothing wrong with that,
But the only thing is, it's more, a question of morals, as we've discussed before. I mean, yeah, companies aren't loyal to you, yada, yada. But if you have contracts in place, do you need to disclose that kind of thing? Although I do know plenty of people who work full-time and still do side gigs, so without their company's knowledge.
Well, it's the thing. Morals, if you're hitting quota and others aren't, clearly, because that's what happens, right? Some people are going to hit quota, some aren't. But if you can do it and you also only work half the day and then you have another job, if you hit quota, okay, morals, I get it. That's weird that, in theory, you could double your output. Morals, though, if you're not hitting quota, you're getting fired. Where's the morals there?
True.
Where's the morals?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, the companies have an unfair advantage with this one, but yeah, I mean, food for thought, I guess. Right?
We also don't even know if it's real. So
yeah, there's always that. That's our entire podcast should come with an asterisk that says, we will tell you these news stories. Asterisks.
We have no idea.
We have no idea if they're real or not. Sorry, that's the risk you took. Okay. Yeah. You can cover this one too, because what you sent me this one and I'm like, what is going on here? And you were like, I actually like this.
All right. So we all know about comment gating. People comment, they make you comment to get the asset or whatever that is. Someone put a comment gate out, but I didn't hate the approach. I feel like this is an actual approach that could work. So this is actually the CEO and founder, or basically the CEO, who's probably the founder of Popl, P-O-P-L.
Okay.
A YC company, which is probably where they're doing some weird stuff. But the post is this. I'm probably going to regret posting this. I will send you a $50 gift card right now if our new enrichment engine that just went live, V3, which combines the best data partners, blah, 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 can't get your email from your LinkedIn profile. And so basically he's saying all you have to do is comment enrich. So the comment gate part here, and I'll DM you your email. We'll DM it to you, and we'll DM it to you so it's not shared publicly. And if you comment and we can't find your email, I will get you'll get a $50 gift card. So basically the comment gate is he's testing out the product, but obviously showing people the product. But basically he's making a bet that you'll get $50 if they don't find your email with his product. And I like this as a comment gate because, yeah, you don't want it to be shared publicly. So he adds that in there. So like you have to DM him or he has to DM you to actually get to try it out so that it's not shared publicly. This I actually kind of liked as like a comment gate. I hate comment gates for the most part, but this I can actually get behind.
This is interesting, but he's also only promising the incentive if he can't fulfill the promise, right?
Which is better. People love a gamble.
Yeah,
but it's obviously better for him too economically.
Yes, of course. You don't want to just give money away to every single person that comments. But now my business mind is circling and I'm like, what is the landing page or LinkedIn ads equivalent of this post that we could make?
Oh, gee, that's a good question.
Like submit all your landing pages to me. If I literally cannot find a single flaw in your landing page, I'll give you $2,000. Guaranteed.
The problem with that is it's subjective.
Yes.
It's opinions.
Yeah.
His is like, I'll find the email or not.
Huh.
You know, yours is subjective, right? And if you get 600, it's going to be a lot harder for you to do all those. Like his is just put in the
600 audits. Like when I did 40 audits for free in the Exit 5 community, it was 33 hours. I'd never worked harder since I'd been out on my own. And I didn't make any money from that, obviously, but then a couple of them signed with me after. So it was fruitful that way. But it was still like minus the 33 hours I already put in. You know,
it would go viral, but it's because the truth is you're gonna find a flaw. So at some point you're gonna be like, I'm not even gonna look at it. Flaw, and that's cheating. You can't do that.
I mean, you'd have to tell them what the flaw was. What about? Is there something you could do for you?
No, the only thing we can do, you and I, and again, it can't be subjective, is all right, we'll make this change. If it doesn't increase your conversion rates, we'll give you money. Or if it doesn't increase the amount of revenue or like whatever that SQLs or whatever it is, we'll give you the money. But again, you cannot do that for 600 accounts and take so much. And basically you have to implement it and then you have to wait X amount of time.
Okay.
Especially for yours, like conversion rate is going to need some data.
How about this? You could say, go into your LinkedIn ads account and double check whether Audience Network is turned on or not. I will give you money.
Problem with that,
people will just check it and get the money.
They'll do it before I get to it because they have to give me access still.
I mean, you wouldn't check it. It would be definitely like a leap of faith kind of thing.
Then you get screwed no matter what.
And you're paying Dang it. Okay, if anybody has an idea of how Tim and I can do this, please let us know. We'll test it out in 2026 when you listen to this podcast episode.
I would love to have an idea like that.
That would be cool. We'd actually find a good use case for commentating.
I thought it was just a good approach because you're testing out the product. You're also getting like feedback from it, right?
And you're using live examples.
And you're getting emails.
Yeah, you're getting emails. Yeah, dang it. Okay.
That's the problem, actually.
Let's fire through our closed one to win this episode and be done with it.
That was really good. Really, really good.
Okay. Number one, big news. Casey Jenkins, who was SVP of marketing at Sendoso, right, for the longest time. She ended up quitting Sendoso and she took kind of a sabbatical. And during the sabbatical, she did a lot of reading, hiking. She was still posting stuff on LinkedIn, but just basically chilled a little bit. You know, I won't get into the history there, but anyway. The one piece of history, though, for her, she used to be a musician before she got into B2B marketing. Like what? Touring with bands, no, but like what? Singing. What genre?
What you said musician? Is she like a drummer or like what
singer, I think.
Singer.
Yeah. And she was part of a band and they used to tour, I think. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, love her. I know her as a person. Never met her in person though, but she and I have talked a lot.
I know her as a person, never met her.
Yeah, no, you can know lots of people before dating them.
Fair enough.
Meeting them in person. Thanks for that.
What the heck? I didn't do that.
Okay. Anyway, so Casey Jenkins announces, I am joining the incredible team at Anthropic as head of marketing for Claude Code, which
Freaking
is the
awesome.
biggest fucking. You want to talk about a post that wins all starting new position posts of the year? This one is the one that does it.
I just love the because you took off what 5 months or so, 4 months.
Yeah.
Love that, by the way.
Yes.
And then went to a great company, like a huge, big name company, like really exciting stuff like there. Like that's really, really cool. Super, super cool. Good for her.
Yeah. So first of all, I mean, other than the fact that I think that she's an awesome person anyway, but you can see here, she was senior vice president of marketing. Then she took kind of an exploring new paths, 6 months off. She was on the advisory board for User Gems, and then she is now head of marketing at Cloud Code.
Oh shit.
Which is like insane. But another important thing to note is that she has actually taken a couple of career breaks. I'm a huge advocate for this. One of my former bosses, and I think I've mentioned this before, like the best boss I ever worked for, she ended up taking a work sabbatical, loved it so much, was so good for her mental health and her family. She wrote an entire book about it and like did this whole thing, started a community. I ghost wrote for her for a whole year when I started like going on my own. And the third post I wrote for her got 53,000 reactions. I was like, why can't I write shit like that for myself? But anyway, it did really well. But Casey Jenkins is awesome. She kind of teased up that she was going to be, joining a different company, but we were like, oh, okay, maybe it's someplace we know. Who knows? I don't know. It may be her going on her own, whatever. Right. And then she drops this post and it gets, almost 1,900 likes, 433 comments. And it's kind of baller. So I'm really happy for her. Congrats, Casey. You won the internet this year. Very proud of you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really awesome.
Yeah. Okay. What's next?
Next up, Adam Holgren. So Adam, CEO of Fibbler, is a founder as well. He's been in the LinkedIn universe for a long, long time. At one point, people called him the Chris Walker of Europe, I think.
Oh,
so that was in the heyday of that whole world. But close one because he had some post and he screenshot one of the comments. And actually, the funny thing about this, Adam, his father is, I don't even know how old he is, but
yeah,
he sometimes, he's a marketer, he's a business person, right? He wears his backward hat in a lot of his videos. So it's just like in the old world of before the vid, people would be like, oh, you got dressed up, all that stuff. So someone commented saying, marketing expert with a baseball cap reversed on his head. Dude looks like a delivery guy. He's not wrong. He does kind of look like the delivery guy with his backward hat. But why I think this is hilarious, it's because the person that commented has a gray avatar as their profile picture.
It's always those.
It's the first rule of LinkedIn is to put your profile picture. You can't speak if you have a gray avatar. I'm sorry, but you're not allowed to talk. Obviously, Adam made light of it. Posted pretty well too. Obviously, a lot of comments and engagement. So I just thought it was a good win for Adam, the delivery driver.
But here's the thing, isn't it like a B2B, especially a SaaS thing, where like we all dress pretty casual? I think that's like, that's just the era. So I don't feel, it sounds like something one like an older person would say, who's like still in that older mindset. And then it's probably it's like a person who's supposed to be on Reddit joins LinkedIn and does like kind of a half name. So it's not really their full name, no pictures, so that they can just go leave hateful comments on everybody's posts. That's just like,
just
the thing.
Someone that drinks Haterade, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So last couple, and then we're going to close this out. So we have David Title. Okay.
Tiddly.
You just cover this one.
Yeah, this one, I just thought it was interesting. So basically, David Tiddly, he's basically one of his clients has this big business building, and they have this huge, ugly HVAC duct that's going throughout the whole office or whatever it is. And they're having this big party. So instead of, the HVAC duct just being there, they basically set up some lights and stuff. So basically it has sponsors going through it. It has a bunch of like videos going through it. And again, like HVAC ducts are like these big pipes. And so it even has just like the one I'm watching right now, it just says Unilever going across. I just thought that was very interesting. Is that
Very
mayo?
cool.
Hellman's mayo on there right now. Like, it's just a good way to get like sponsored, I guess. Like, I just thought it was very cool.
I mean,
I've never seen that.
it's a good way to cover up something that's ugly and then turn it into that's a super cool idea. Love that. He got almost 1,200 reactions, 115 comments, 29 reposts. So, obviously the internet loved it. Great idea. Love this. People should think about this more. Okay. Let's close it out.
Last one here.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was actually a good, smart idea. Christian, because it gets cut off. He basically says, I apply for 150 plus jobs per day, not because I really need a job or anything, but because those applications ask me for a link to my personal website. And he obviously links his website. And so he gets a bunch of clicks and people on the website every single day. And he's making some money off of that AdSense. That Google AdSense.
Oh,
$250K a year.
This is chess.
Is this true? Don't know, but it's not
Smart
a bad idea. It's not bad. Especially if you just easy apply, just go for it.
Not a bad idea. Great.
Want it. Try it. That's the question.
We can try it. We got to get AdSense set up first, though.
Yeah, we got to do something.
Okay. That we'll add it to the goals for 2026. Yep.
All right. Center right.
All right, let's be honest. You probably didn't go to school for B2B marketing. I didn't. And that's exactly why we built Exit 5. It's now the top community for B2B marketers. You can learn more about our community and our in-person events over there at exit5.com, or at least join the newsletter. I read every message, and I promise that if you reply, I will reply back. See you over at exit5.com.
Hey, big shout out to Vector for sponsoring and for giving marketers one less thing to swear about, because nothing spikes your blood pressure like targeting that doesn't target. Am I right? Build audiences by name at vector.co. Your swear jar will thank you. I promise. Go check them out. Vector.co. And that's a wrap on Notorious B2B, where we expose the nonsense and remind you that most B2B marketing is just a very expensive guessing game.
Don't, and post a passive-aggressive LinkedIn poll about it. We'll still find you.
And if you have B2B drama we should cover, slide into our DMs. We accept screenshots, leaked internal memos, and questionable brand rebrands.
Until next time, keep your marketing unhinged and your LinkedIn bio free of the words growth hacker. See you later.
Later, skater.